I've done it to copy them on.
7 days later.
Last time I did,
I've seen it every.
last time I did.
Copy
Green.
Gotta get you a stamp for that job.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the August 2026 Board of Commissioners meeting, and we ask everyone to stand for prayer by Commissioner Troy, and then I pledge allegiance.
Let's pray. Lord, thank you again for your blessings you give us. Lord, thank you for another month. I pray, God, that you just continue to put your hands upon the residents of Warren County. God, just give them good health. Lord, thank you for what you do there. Lord, I pray you give us wisdom today as we have the meeting, Lord, and I pray everything is said and done. And right, glory and honor your name. Lord, thank you for what you do, Lord. We love you. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's the clerk to call the roll.
John R. Graham, Chairman.
Present.
Richard Burley Jr., Commissioner District 1.
Present.
Alan L. Troy, Commissioner District 2.
President.
Approval of minutes from July 2026. A motion, to have a second? Second. Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is the financial report for July 2026. That's the clerk for the report, please, ma'am.
General Fund Collection, $816,985.34. Listed below are the account balances as of today. Departmental Financial Report for July 2026. Tax Commissioner, General Fund, $27,694.82. TABT, $27,504.11. Title Commission, $1,400. Probate Court General Fund, $26,250.11. Jail, $2,499.46. Drug abuse, $119.03. Magistrate Court, $3,048. General Fund. Clerk of Court, July 2026, not yet available.
Any questions on the financial report? Hearing none, that report stands as read. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Next item, emergency management performance grant. We just received notice from the state, that we received our fiscal year 2025, a local emergency management performance grant for $18,805. This is a grant we get each year as long as we stay in compliance with, what GMA requires for the EMA department. So, Crystal has completed all the required tasks, and, so we received that $18,805, for that grant. Any questions? Hearing none, that is no action needed. That was just information. Next, Tax Assessors Board appointment. Mr. Lewis Swint, his term expires, this month, and these are 3-year terms, and, he has stated he would, like to continue serving, but we can, either reappoint him or look to, add or replacing him with someone else. But he has, stated to me that he's willing to continue serving, so what's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion to reappoint.
Motion that we reappoint, the second.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion?
What's the position again?
Tax Assessors Board.
Tax assessor.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is sales ratio study. Each year, the state Department of Revenue provides a sales ratio study. It's 100% evaluation of the, county and all the other counties, in the state of Georgia. And each year, they come in and assess where we at with values on property. So this year, actually just received it, so it's actually for 2025, so it's always the year prior. When we got the report July 29th, so this year, it's showing us an equalized ratio of 23.86. As y'all know, everything's taxed at 40% of 100% fair market value. So that's what you pay tax on. They come in and they look and evaluate us. We're supposed to be within 36 to 44. They give us 4% either way. You get outside of that, then you have to start reevaluating property. We did, in 24, we reevaluated residential, went up 9%. Last year, we reevaluated large land, went up about 80%, because it's been 20 years since any large, or not large land, all land tracts, excuse me. So, but even with doing these increases, and this year we have reevaluated commercial and industrial, so that will come on the 26th digest. It's coming out in the next several weeks. Hopefully, it's supposed to be hopefully done. Well, I think Monday is the deadline for appeal, so then we'll see how we finish up with the digest for this year. But for the last 4 years, it's constantly been falling down, even with going up. And everybody complains and wants to know why we go up on property tax, why we go up on property, why we go up on the property value. But you look at what they come in here, piece of property, that they got valued on Gordon Street, right over here in town, at $135,896, is how they valued it. That's 100% value. So if you put that at 40% value, to compare to the 40% value that we have on it, %40 value is $54,358, and we have it at $29,318. So you see, and you can just, I go through this list and pick out all different other ones. It's the same way. So when they come in and do their part, and we're below what they're providing information on, then we have to go in and do reassessments. So we're gonna be having to do additional reassessments. If we don't, you have a 3-year window to fix these things, and we're really, because we've been going down the last few years, we're at the bottom of our 3-year, at the end of our 3-year window. So if they're not satisfied that we're trying to fix these things, then they start a per parcel penalty tax to the county. So we have not been hit with anything like that yet, because we are, as I said, the last 3 years, these are the things we've been doing. So we're continuing to work on that. So, as we move forward, 27, you're probably gonna see an increase in, residential property values again. And then we'll see where we stand from there. But, that's the reason even though you hear a bunch of junk out of Atlanta, how everybody's going up, all the counties going up on property tax, you're forced to go up on it, because, you have to stay in line with this, or you're gonna start getting the penalties. The things that, hurt the county is 2 things. Number one, for the school board, the QBE funding that the school gets hurt when the rates are low. It reduces it down. Utilities, Georgia Power, Georgia Natural Gas, all those folks get to pay on this 28% number, or 23% number instead of 40% number. So you're losing money there. So we got to bring these things back up, so we're not letting the big folks get lower taxes. We gotta bring them up so we can stay in line, so the school's not losing money, we're not losing money. Unfortunately, it's gonna cause us to have to go up on residential rates, and I know nobody wants to do that, but either we start paying the per parcel penalties. So, but we're working on that with the tax assessor right now. We're going through, we're looking at if we're gonna appeal this year's number. We're working on to see if we have some some room for appeal. We got a few things we're questioning on there, so we wanna see if we, even if we appeal it, it's not gonna change it a whole lot. I mean, it might, it's still gonna be somewhere in the 20-something range, but hopefully it'd be a little higher than the 23, so. But anyway, that's what we're working on. The sales ratio and evaluations gets very convoluted in the whole grand scheme of things I'm just trying to give y'all a high level, overview of it. Y'all got any questions on that? That's a work in progress that we
Where do
gotta
they get
continue
their
working.
numbers?
Yeah.
They come and look at a
They-
prop,
Okay.
go through, and they go through it, just like an appraisal, if you had an independent appraiser come in here, they're appraisal people
Okay.
that work for the state, they're appraisers. They come in and do an appraisal, just like any appraiser would do.
But they also know, they don't treat us like Atlanta.
They look at our sales and stuff like that,
Our sales,
Mm-hmm.
our sales, what kind of sales?
the sales on property.
And though, even though outside people from Atlanta and all that are coming in paying stupid amounts for some stuff
Yeah, I
that
mean,
people from around here wouldn't pay.
here's one right here, Hopkins Street, sold for $178,000. Macon Highway sold for $200,000. And based on what our value was, the first one I said made the ratio 19.86, it was that far off. The second one was 28%, so you see, everything's selling real high and the value's here, so they got, everything's got to be pulling together. So, I see her hand, I'm trying to answer the questions, I ain't forgot her. So, that's where we're at, yes, Robin, I'm sorry.
That's okay. What, did you say the last time we reevaluated was 2024
On residential,
on residential? When was the last time the tax assessor board, went out and inspected properties?
they do that every year.
Well, my question is that, for instance, I'm not gonna name names, but a particular house in Cadley is listed as having a tin roof, but it has architectural shingles, and that roof has been on for 10 years. It has that it doesn't have heating and air, but it does. It has a brand new unit that was 5 years old. Storage buildings that aren't on the thing, and a well and septic tank valued at 2,000, and I can tell you a well is 15 grand now. So I just wondered about that.
Yeah, all of it, I'd have to look at that particular.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, I'm just curious when they've actually updated the information that's available on their website.
Yeah, they go.
That's based on the taxes that people pay.
Well, if you look at Q Public,
Yes,
that's about a year behind.
You can't always go by
Yeah.
Q
Yeah,
Public.
Q Public.
Yeah, they're right.
Q Public stays
You
about a
can't
year
I'll be
find
behind.
glad to visit your office and we can talk.
Yeah, it stays about a year behind,
Yeah,
so I
But,
don't.
our values, like for the well and septic tank, are way behind. And I know that we want, as a taxpayer, I'm going, oh boy, but, in the long run, it kind of hurts us because everybody's not being fair. We're not, paying what we should, even though we want cheap taxes.
Well, that's the problem. There's always, I can talk to any, and I'll talk to every one of y'all.
I know.
There's two values, a sale value and a
And
taxable
tax value.
value. Everybody has, and they're nowhere close to each other,
I know, but we really need to, try to find a fine,
but that's the
Medium,
reason, that's the
yes.
reason we're, going through, gonna have to redo all of this. So, yeah, if you look at anything online though, it's usually at least a year behind, so. Because the time we do all our stuff, and then the company that, takes it and uploads it, it's probably a year lag in that. So it could be caught, or I'm not gonna say nothing's been missed now, I'm not gonna say something like that. Yes, sir.
One thing that I wish we could come up with something different with taxation is, people are technically penalized for upgrading and doing better.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a house on Allen Street or wherever out in the county, they said, well, I don't wanna make my house better because I'm gonna get taxed for it. I've seen online, this point being brought up more and more is, we need to be incentivized, not penalized, to make our properties better. Like she said, a new well or a HVA system or something like that, which that's where I disagree with you on that, is that we don't need to make the taxes higher. We need to figure out a way to be fair with everybody and find other ways to make a little more fair taxes. If you have a nice home, you get whacked to pay for this, and this.
Okay, let me tell you the problem. You talking to the wrong group of people. It's out of our control. You gotta go to Atlanta. We only following what the law is a roll down to us that we can't fix it here. I can't change it. I mean, it's a statewide system. That's what I'm telling you.
I mean, but our tax assessors go out, or do we hire people to go out and do this?
We do everything residential and land wise. We hire out anything that's commercial and industrial because it's outside of our.
Okay, so when Lori goes out,
They're following state rules. There's a state regulation they're following. It applies across the state.
And the legislature set that
The
up.
legislature sets that up. We don't have anything to do with that. We can't change in Warren County. We don't have that. We gotta follow. And that's the reason DOR, the state department, comes in and does this and says y'all need to go up. See, even though we're trying to follow everything they put in line, they're saying, no, you need to get up higher. And we have to follow theirs. We cannot do anything on a local level that changes the way appraised values are completed there. It's done
is
by
there an
state law.
organization where all the guys like you, our commissioners, get together and talk amongst the other commissioners in Georgia? Or is there, do y'all do that?
Yeah, we have a commissioner association.
Commissioner Association? Well, I would like for y'all to bring that up and maybe get it out there.
That's talked about yearly. I'm on the board. I'm on the Commissioner Association board for the
Or
state.
incentivize them to do better and not be penalized by doing better.
Every year.
It's still a representative you need to talk to.
Who is our representative?
Mike
He's-
Collins.
He is retiring, our state representative is retiring, and so it depends on who's elected in November.
To the Senate.
Oh,
Our state senator's, Max Burns, he's also he's also be up for reelection in November, so that may or may not stay. Yes, Rob?
Oh, I would explain that we have a tax assessors board,
We do,
and that's who we were
right?
talking about. And there's how many members?
Three,
Three on that, and they are,
Cedric Bacon, James Wilson, and Louis Swint.
and Louis Swint. And they are the board that if you appeal your evaluations, they're the ones that hear the appeal.
It goes to them, correct?
Goes to them, correct.
Mhm.
And, they determine whether the appeal is justified or not, and that sort of thing, when the reevaluation turns
Mhm.
out correct.
Right,
But Lori Abbott is our,
she's chief appraiser,
right, she's chief appraiser, and she has an office with two people in it, right?
right?
Yeah, yeah, so there's three of them in that. And, my only question about, and what I was trying to make a point of with certain things that I think need to be relooked at, like the $2,000 for a well and septic tank, is that, like McDuffie County went through a reevaluation and they nearly had a riot
Mhm.
a couple of years ago. I mean, everybody appealed. They had homes that went up 100%. I mean, it was really crazy.
Well, I mean, see what's gonna
Exactly.
happen here.
Yeah. And some of that is because,
My
either.
commercial property went up almost 100% this
Oh,
year.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
The thing is,
If-
and I know that undoubtedly costs the county cause
Yeah.
it's commercial, so y'all have to pay somebody to come in and do those, I understand that.
Right,
But waiting 20 years too, it's hard hitting to double in 1 year, which has been
yeah.
10 years ago.
Well.
But if
Don't get me
things-
wrong, I enjoy them.
If I go back 5 years ago, we were in range, we were
Yeah,
good,
I got it.
everything was good, but the last 4 years, it's constantly going downhill.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah.
so that's kind of where you're at. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying if we kind of seem to stay a little bit more within the correct values of things. Maybe if something happens like that, it's not such a hurt.
The things, the problem is the last 3 years,
Yeah.
since there's been a huge, what I'll call it, explosion of pricing.
Well, the
Yeah,
house
things
across
are
the street
selling
from
like
me,
Crazy,
yeah.
you know, and that's, so, now we gotta catch up, so.
I mean, we got
so.
property that's being sold, or they're asking $1 million for it.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, the sky's the limit.
it's going crazy. And I'm gonna follow up this, to go a little bit further on what Robin had asked. If you're not satisfied at the level we were talking about with tax assessors, then there's the Board of Equalization.
Yes,
Those members are appointed by the grand jury. That is heard, and this clerk of Superior Court, Ms. Lasby, keeps up with that group. And they're appointed, by the, grand jury, as I stated. They hear anything if you appeal it up to that level. And then if you're not satisfied at that level, you can always appeal it to the judge of Superior Court and go to court with it. So that's kind of the steps, to appeal the process.
but Lori is appointed, she's not elected, correct?
She is appointed, correct?
Yeah, you all appoint her.
Yeah, she's appointed.
And they're located here in Warren County.
Do what?
They're located here in Warren County.
Yes,
Yes, in the
in
courthouse.
the courthouse.
She's in the courthouse. Yeah. So, I mean, so anyway, like I said, I tried to do a high level of this, cause, if we get really in detail into this, we'd be here for a good while for me to explain all of this to y'all, cause it's very, very complicated.
It affects us.
Hmm?
It affects us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still, we can talk about it all day and all night, and, you know, what we gotta do, but we got to increase rates, to match how things are selling. And that's the problem, people are selling. And then when it's selling up here, it means your taxes are gonna go up here. Like I said earlier, everybody's got a tax value and a sale value, but they eventually gotta come together, or either we penalized. And then if the county's penalized as a whole, it still reflects back on every taxpayer, because that's gotta come out of general fund. So, you gotta raise the millage rate or whatever, you know, to make it work out, so. All right, any other questions? All right, no action needed for that, I was trying just to give information. Next is we just finished up fiscal year, and the budget, amendments, so we can, stay in compliance that we always do each year, has the, total revenue and total expenditures at $7,899,982. That's because of everything that comes in. Our usual budget runs about $6.5 million. When we get all this extra, you know, these grants that come here and there, different pieces we have to add to finalize our budget, then this is what we have to do to amend everything out, so we get ready for our next audit, which will start pretty soon. And I'm fixing to talk about, we just finished our last audit, now we're fixing to talk about getting into another audit. Of that, I'm just gonna give you what the department's percentages are. Board of Commissioners, 5.77, election, 1.18, fees is county attorney, workman's comp, retirement, professional engineering, architectural, stuff like that we do. That's 5.38. Technology is 1.0. Tax commissioner, 2.14. Tax assessors, 2.24. County buildings, 19.66. That's everything with our county buildings, to maintain them, electricity and everything else, insurance, all that stuff. Clerk Superior Court, 2.51. DA's office is 0.26. Magistrate Court, 1.15, probate, 1.43, juvenile court, 0.11, public defender, 0.20. And the DA, the juvenile court, public defender, the Superior Court judge, that's here in our office. We have two Superior Court judges, one's in our courthouse, one's at McDuffie. We're in the Toombs Judicial Circuit, and that's 6 counties, and that, all of that funding that I just talked about, split up between the 6 counties based on population, so that's our portion, for those. Sheriff's Office, 10.41, Jail, 3.08, Office of Emergency Services, which is Fire, EMS, and EMA, is 15.3, Coroner's 0.32, 911 is 7.38, Public Works 6.82, Solid Waste 2.56, Landfills 1.42, Health Department is 0.32, Department of Family and Children Services 0.08, Senior Citizens 1.26, Transit 1.77, Libraries 1.50, Extension Office is 1.21, Forestry is 0.20, Code and Planning is 1.34, and Development Authority is 1.62. That makes up that 100% of that, budget. We got many departments is how it's broken out. And that doesn't count special funds like T-Splosh, all of that, we spend somewhere around $1 million in T-Splosh funding and LMIG funding every year. That's all strictly goes into road departments. That's another amount of money goes into road department, so. And then we have some other funds, from different stuff. That's the biggest one, but, and there's some other funds that make up the capital expenses for some of the other things, emergency services, where about fire trucks, ambulances. You got, water department, where we, not water department, water sewer, that we, ever do water and sewer stuff, so. There's a few other things, but anyway, that's our, numbers in our revenue, is the same amount. It would actually come in a little bit higher than that, but I have to have it as a balance, so actually there'll be a surplus when the audit's done, and there'll be a little bit of surplus that they capture, but we have to have it as, by state law, it has to be balanced, so that's the reason both numbers are the same. Any questions? If there's none, I have a motion that we approve those, amendments. I have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Here none, all in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And speaking of audit, we had, an extension, our auditors asked for extension. We run on fiscal year July to June, so June 30th, we have 6 months to do our audit. So they asked in December, because they had some other things that put them behind, to ask for an extension to state granted. So we got an extension for our June 30th, 2025 audit, and, it was granted, but they completed it in time. It's been submitted to the state, and we also have to submit it to the federal government, through the, clearinghouse that they require us to put it on. And everything in the audit, was good, and they had, just a few general comments, and then the one thing we always get hit on is about internal lack of segregation of duties, about having enough people to segregate out the things, and we got, to do all of the finance and all the different departments that touch money, we'd have to double our employment just to match what so we're always gonna have that finding in our audit. But it was a good clean audit with no issues, so, any questions? Here none, that's just, for information. Next is our proposed technology ordinance. We've talked about this a couple of months, and we actually been calling it a few different things. We're doing the final tweaking on this. This, technology ordinance is going to relate to anything that is cryptocurrency, data centers, power storage facilities, research and development, and solar energy. We've been working on this for quite a while, trying to, come up with, an ordinance to, put in place to improve where we're currently at and what we do. So this is, ordinance that will go before the planning commission at their next meeting for them to discuss. As soon as the attorney finishes, he's pretty much got, this is close to a final draft. He's tweaking it a little bit, so it might be a few little tweaks in it that might change, but it tells you basically definitions of those things that I just talked about. They're all conditional use. That means it has to be a permit. They can't just go out here and do whatever. They have to have a permit through the planning office. And it's a conditional use. They have to meet certain standards. Different setbacks that's required, for the different types of stuff, whether it's, the solar data center or whatever.
Do we have a data center looking at us right now?
I've had some calls, but, whether we get anything or not, we up in the air right now waiting.
Got more solar than
Nothing
anything,
tonight.
right?
Yeah, we've had several solar, there's actually several solar things still looking right now. Yeah, so, I mean, we get calls all the time. I mean, I got a call the other week about, manufacturing. It was, for some kind of military manufacturing stuff. You know, they ask you all kind of questions, and you answer their questions. You may hear back from them, you may not. A lot of times, it's some developer trying to look for something.
Feel it out,
You know, so, right now, that's kind of the way it goes. So, it just hits me, and it's just me.
Are you gonna have that available for public view or public, is it after it's adopted by the?
I'll give you a copy of it.
The draft. That's just a draft, though, right?
Yeah, it's a
just
draft. I didn't know if you wanted to wait until the,
No, like I
the
said,
planning board looks at it.
It's probably gonna get tweaked some.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Do you wanna wait until it's
available.
tweaked?
I've already given it out, and I've had a couple people ask me for it. I've already given it out.
Oh, okay, all right, cool,
And it's
Yeah.
a work in progress,
yeah.
It's not set in stone though yet, right?
No, They've got to look at it.
No, it'll have to go through,
Planning?
that process, whether they approve or disapprove.
Who's
It has to
they?
come planning commission.
Planning commissioner.
Then it
Yeah.
has to come to this board for us to either approve or disapprove. So it's a two-step process.
And that's Alton and,
That board right now, Ms. Gloria's on it,
Yeah.
Alvin's on it, Moses Heath,
Yeah.
Amanda Wilkerson. and
Amanda,
there's
yeah.
one, yes, four y'all, so.
Another thing, I would like to have total, transparency with anyone that's talking with these people that are outside looking for us to know who's talking. I mean, as far as on the side, a developer coming in and talking to somebody that's not in front of us, the people, nothing behind the scenes. Everything has to be transparent. I mean, I wanna see everything, that they're coming, like, if they come to you and say, I know you, let's just say you had 20,000 acres over here and out in the middle of nowhere, they come and talk to you on the back, like, look, we're looking for 20,000 acres. What I want is transparency where everybody knows what everybody's doing.
Well, now, if somebody goes.
If
and
he's got
talks-
20,000 acres, I
Well,
want,
let me just tell you, if somebody goes and talks to him,
yeah.
and they're talking to him, I don't know that.
That's what I'm saying, but we don't have emails,
If somebody
texts.
comes and talks to you, how do I know they're talking to you? I don't.
I'm not on the board.
That-
You're the government, not me.
You said if somebody's talking, you didn't say.
I'm talking
somebody.
about the boards and the people that are gonna make the decision.
If it comes to the board, it has to come to us as an official action,
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
and then it's all open record.
Did you keep a log on who calls you? And I'm just asking, do you keep a,
My phone rings.
I'm talking about the manufacturers though, and the,
No, stop.
talking about the manufacturers or the,
No,
okay.
because it doesn't matter, like I just said, I've talked to, in the last several months, I've talked to 10 different people about something, and none of them's called me back. So I'm not gonna waste my time doing that, cause most of it, that's the way it is. I'd be wasting a lot of time trying to track.
It was just a yes or no question.
Well, I just wanted to explain that, but I wanted to, it's a lot to it.
but when, like, the solar panel issue, and they start to call and they're talking to landowners and versus, it goes first to the planning board, to Michael,
Right.
for a variance. Or not always, because if it's commercial, it depends, correct. And that depends on what the land is
Zone for.
zoned for. Because there was an issue with wasn't it with the crypto thing, with the church? It was zoned office,
It was
it was zoned
a pub.
office.
It was office institutional, which
Yes.
was allowable.
And it would have been allowable,
Mhm.
yes,
But
that
part
was
of it-
the,
part
that
of
was
it
a big issue.
Part of it was PUD, and they couldn't, that was for the people that live there, correct?
No,
No, it
it had
wasn't.
nothing to do with that.
But the only reason it got killed was, the whole thing got killed, the future plans, and so they decided to revoke their option on the property, correct?
The church and them could never settle on a contract.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
But
Yeah.
there, that's a prime example where that has nothing to do, it would have nothing to do with us. It'd be like any one of you buy a piece of property and wanna build a house, I mean, it doesn't come to this board.
No,
You gotta
that's not
go
what I'm
get some
getting at,
permits,
that's not what I'm getting at, the decision to allow someone can be affected by, hey, man, you give you a couple acres on the side, that's what happens in Atlanta and all these big things, that's where these problems arise, is their back doors open to allow these people to come in without the people's voice being heard, that's what we're looking at.
It's a three-step process really, because anything from a development standpoint, we're talking industrial, big, huge commercial or industrial development, you got the development authority that's gonna look at it and talk, and that's where it's gonna start. If it's got any, if it's moving forward of any kind, then it depends on what might happen, like a data center. If it's a data center, then it's gotta go through a development or regional impact study. So all that's done. And if it goes any further from there, then it's gotta be goes to the planning commission, they got to apply for whatever conditional use, zoning change, whatever it might be. All that's gotta be done. It goes through that step, and then the final step is when it goes to there, it comes to here. So it goes through all these different processes, so there's nothing.
It just seems like all these data centers and all these people they're just being washed through. And people it's on the internet and everyone is screaming about allowing these things. And the mayors and all these people are allowing this stuff to come in without the people being heard. And when you got that many people saying no and it still goes in, that's a problem.
But
I believe you guys won't let that happen to us, but our voices
Well-
need to be heard, that's all.
If I may make this opinion or statement, I think that the issue with the mega solar farm, nobody knew anything was happening
Until
until
after.
some surveyors and some developers trespassed on private property and was found out. And then boom,
We didn't even know.
yeah, exactly, so, yeah,
We didn't even know.
didn't even know, at that point, you didn't even know.
I found out from a landowner that.
See,
They called me
yeah.
because they was on his property.
Yeah, it was a
I don't
trespass
know what you're talking
issue.
about.
Yeah, exactly, so,
Yeah.
we all, I think in this day and time, we all got to be aware or more aware, and, yeah.
Yeah, we depend on you guys to tell us, that's all, we don't know.
Well, I mean, it's like I just said, I haven't talked to I don't know how many people, but I hadn't told y'all anything, cause there's nothing to tell you.
I mean, that's cool, that's what I'm saying, but if it is heard, then we wanna
When
hear.
you get it to the right step, then that's where it starts, it goes through the process. Well, I said there's 3 levels that it's gotta go through.
But Michael, does he always have a planning meeting every month, or only when there's something that's,
Only if there's
Permitting.
something, yeah, I mean, if it, no reason to meet, no
Yeah,
reason to meet, we
exactly.
don't have anything to put on the agenda.
yeah,
Third Mondays.
third Monday?
Normally this month it got changed to the last Monday,
Mhm.
it was a change, so,
Mhm.
but normally it's the third Monday, but yeah, if there's nothing,
That he doesn't have.
actually, I don't think, Ms. Gloria, I didn't have a meeting last month.
We did not.
Yeah, see, there was nothing for last month, so.
Right, but we've been notified it was going to have a meeting this month.
It's the 24th, it got moved to the last Monday.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The Silicon Ranch, property out there, that's the first of 4, is that correct? There's gonna be 3 more? The Silicon Ranch, solar farm.
They are supposedly looking at wanting to do several other pieces to that, but we don't have anything official on that. I have been told by some landowners that there's people out there surveying in some areas off of Rocky Branch Church Road.
And Lee Road,
I haven't been told anything about Lee Road.
and Lee Road.
But it's, I've heard that they're talking about that, but there again, they can do all, they can survey and do all that without talking to us, but they gotta come to us with a permit.
But you don't know about 3 other locations?
I've heard people saying there's, people out here. I've done some searching and found some stuff that it looks like they're trying to do several things. I've searched some stuff on the internet, but I don't have anything officially been brought to me.
I think that's what he's talking about. Instead of these things already being a done deal, when the public finds out about it, right?
Done deal.
We like to find out before it's a done deal.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. I can't do anything about them people out there surveying.
I know, but you did say there was 3 steps to that, and you are the 3rd step.
Yeah, but right now, well, in this particular case, the development authority's not involved. It doesn't have anything to do with, sometimes the development authority is not involved in that. It's just a 2-step. Because the development authority wouldn't have nothing to really talk about from us, anything that they're doing with that. Unless they try to get some kind of tax abatement, then they try to do that, but we're not doing tax abatements for solar, so.
Okay, so you don't have any information on the other 3 locations, as far as you know.
I know they're talking about some stuff, but yeah, I don't have anything
Okay.
official.
This is just an observation, because I came back from Alabama the other day, and we went through, and it was field after field
yeah.
after field of solar panels. The temperature outside
10 degrees.
jumped 15 degrees higher than it was already at the 90.
Did you also notice that a lot of there's a lot of them were just facing other ways from the sun, they're not functioning anymore, and those lands are dead. Cause they're not gonna take them up.
But because I was like, what's the matter with the car? It's not. And I realized it was because the outside temperature was 15 degrees higher. Yeah.
the land is dead.
I've tested the one that's here, and I have not seen any change in temperature.
Okay.
When you say here, you're talking about Thompson.
No, we got one on
Bulldog.
Oh, yeah, the feed store.
Oh, I'm not talking about like the little tiny ones that we have. I'm talking, this was.
Just a little
No,
one.
we're talking
This was
miles.
massive, mile after mile after mile of them. It was ridiculous.
What's that one?
It's about, panels is almost 600 acres, and panels is they bought about 1,000 acres.
5,000, yeah.
It's like in Register, Georgia, or Butler, somewhere down there. I was there the week.
That's where it was, Butler. That was it. Wasn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, it was just like, what in the
Go to
world?
Valdosta, you'll see them.
But anyway, getting back to this, there's stuff in here, where they gotta do the general concept plan, and then there'll be a site plan, there's stuff about any kind of ventilation, enclosures, so, vegetative buffers, barriers, height, fencing, sound.
Runoff,
Do what?
runoff.
That's all covered in the site plan.
Right.
Yeah, and that's, and then utility verification, they have to, make sure that they get, with all the utilities and provide that utilities are adequate, whether it's electrical, gas, water, sewer, whatever.
I don't know if it, I was going up, my road, East Warrenton Road, going toward where that, where the railroad track crosses and the road's dead. I was up there, rattlesnake got on my property, and I got him, and I was taking him up there to let him go. I didn't want to kill the thing. Well, and down in the creek, the water was blue metallic looking. So I called the forester guy, I guess it was DNR or whatever, got them out there, and they said they would handle it, but that's right below that solar. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but it's just, why would all of a sudden that water be metallic, blue metallic-y, whatever, and that's just, it's chemicals, it's just a sure thing. I don't know if somebody dumped something out there, but it was just, that's what I was talking about with the runoffs, is that some of these things, the oils, the greases, because they move, they have to be whatever, you know, but when you're talking about 50 acres, yeah, it's no big deal, but when you're talking about 6 miles of the dang thing, and they're coming, no, it's not that, it's, no, it's just the,
Yeah, I know, Grace.
the metals and the greases and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we've had no reports of any problems with anything. But anyway, we're working on that ordinance, so, you know, and like I said, we only can, we can only bring stuff out when it's at a point that it's something that is brought before us, and then it goes through the process. Any other questions on that ordinance? It's still a work in progress.
Is Warden County in the middle of changing their codes right now? Any kind of codes? Upgrading them?
Upgrading code.
Like a Noah's ordinance, like different ordinances?
We got, well, this is the one we're working on right now. But we got everything else is already in place. I mean, we have a noise ordinance.
When's the last time Warren County had a code update?
We're always changing and updating, you know, whether we, now go back and take what we got and we might tweak it occasionally, it just depends on right now, we're actually trying to get everything put online. So that's been going on about a 2-year process now. The attorney's reviewing all of that right now to hopefully get it worked out with Unicode so we can get it online. So it's been going through that process, and it's been going on for about 2 years, but not necessarily changing anything. We are correcting anything we see might need to be fixed.
Does Warren County have a Noah's ordinance right now? Of any kind?
No.
A noise ordinance?
Noise.
We have a
Noise.
nuisance ordinance, which noise is one of the things in it. We don't have a specific noise ordinance, but we have a nuisance ordinance, and there's something about noise in it.
A decibel type ordinance, is that what you mean?
No, this has that in it. No, it's a nuisance ordinance, and it talks about all kind of stuff. It could be a nuisance. Noise is one thing.
Is there a time period that goes to, that nuisance ordinance? Is there a time period where it starts at and time it ends at?
The nuisance ordinance?
Yes.
Time period for,
10 o'clock at night to 2 in the morning, 10 o'clock at night to 8 in the morning?
no, it's just talking, no matter what time it is, it's talking, depending on what the noise is. I can't quote it to you because I'd have to read it. I don't know exactly what it says, but I know it's got something about noise in it. If there's an issue at 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, it's still the same. There's no time.
Well, I called it one time about a noise ordinance, right? It was at 7 o'clock in the afternoon. He told me it wasn't in effect.
Well, who you talk to?
It was a deputy.
Well,
He says only 7 o'clock in the afternoon, so it wouldn't affect it no way.
well, I don't, he was probably quoting you something out of state law, because he doesn't even know what the ordinance.
And that's why I'm asking about the ordinance. I'm trying to find out where this ordinance is, what's the number, what's the status of this ordinance, so I can have it in my hand.
I'll give you a copy of it.
I would love to have it.
I'll give you a copy of it. You know, but I have nothing to do with the deputies. He works for the sheriff, so.
I'm talking about the ordinance now.
I'll give you the ordinance, whether he does anything with it, that's up to him.
Mhm.
That's a whole different side of things. It's outside of this board, we have nothing to do with that. We do have an ordinance, but we can't make them do anything with it. Anything else? We threw it ordinance. Last thing, the old jail property, the old ambulance building on 147 West Gibson Street. We'd like to try to get that off of us, continue to maintain it. And deed it to the development authority to see if we can get an appraisal on it and see if we can get it, maybe try to sell it.
Where's that building at?
Across from the city office.
The old yard.
Across from the city,
The brick building.
across from City Hall,
Across from the new city hall.
across from City Hall.
Oh, right behind the new city hall?
No, the one, it's across the street.
Not behind it.
Two, two doors down from Low Funeral Home.
Yeah, that's,
South.
okay.
Yeah, where it goes to the V.
Right, the V.
Yeah, the V.
But,
The brick building.
but we got, instead of continuing to maintain, a property we don't use and don't need, I'd like to try to, let the development authority see if we can do something with it. But we would have to get it appraised and everything, so we can have, whatever value we need to look at. Cause we can't go any lower than the appraised value. We can go higher, but we can't go lower. If y'all approve, I need a motion that we deed that to them, I'll get the attorney to do all the legal work on it. Motion to have a second. Motion second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carries. And, last thing we got is review of credit card, so I don't know if we got anything else, to talk about today, but I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity. We'll start right
Okay,
here.
number one is, I'll be brief. Thank you so much at one of the meetings about the dip in the street that I live on, and it was paid, I was jumping for joy. Thank you so much that it was taken care of. And the next thing that I have, one couple of days, I need to get a blood pressure check. I went to Tri-County and I had a book to fill out, so that didn't work. I went to the health department, it was open. The young lady told me they didn't do blood pressure checks there anymore, and there wasn't a nurse there to do it. The next thing I went to was over to the EMTs, and there was no one there to do it because everyone was out. So in Warren County, my question, with the health department especially, because that's where I retired from, we don't have a person on board, or I don't know, it's set up now, it's where they could do a simple thing that's trained to just do a blood pressure. Because that is something with heart attacks and strokes in this area, and we don't have anyone to do blood pressure.
We do them at ambulance service as long as we're not out, so, I'll talk to,
They were all out, no one was there.
I'll talk to the health department and see, I don't know why they couldn't do it there. And if you come to my office, I'll check it for you.
That's nice to know. Well, I did go home and check it with my own, but I was just concerned about other citizens.
Tri-Care didn't do it?
I had a book to fill out before I could do all that. I just left, I couldn't do it, I mean, but thank you.
I'll be glad to do it. Here, we need somebody to do it. Robin.
Yeah, I do. I got a, thing. I know that, Splosh and all that, I read the Splosh, and I remember when we first started with that 1% like 20 years ago or 25 years ago, and it was tourism and recreation and all that, and, we had plans at one time about county recreation. What is the goal there? Because I know that Tish's brother, Wilson, Jamal, is doing a great and grand thing with Pop Warner. The school is allowing him to use the property there for, games and stuff. And Pop Warner, if you've ever had a kid, I used to go to the games in Lincoln County. Our great nephew was involved with, the baseball and organized, in counties and all, competitive baseball and whatnot. And it is a great thing. And I really would like to see the county team with Jamal with that. Because he's doing fish fries, he's selling barbecue plates, trying to raise money for Pop Warner, and he's just a great,
Yeah.
it's a great thing. It would be so wonderful.
Problem is that that's a private thing, and we're a government, so.
And I do know that he's been working with Jeffrey, him and Tish have been working with Jeffrey on ways that they can partner together more with the chamber and hometown to be able to do some more.
Well, I just wondered why Lincoln County was able to do that and be involved. I mean, I think the umpires and something like that was, I'll have to check with, Walker about how he partnered with,
Yeah, I'm not sure what they,
Yeah.
but I mean, that would be some stuff that you have to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, for facilities and all, we can, allow them to do that. I mean, they do use facilities. I mean, the county built that football stadium out there.
I know, well, yeah, yeah, it was a partnership thing, I mean, and that's what I'm saying, we've had partnerships in the past, and if there's a will, there's a way,
Yeah, we're trying to, I'm working right now, trying to upgrade the old park over here, and we're in the process, we've got the fields graded and fenced, we just broke ground on the concession bathroom building this morning. We're gonna put a basketball court out there, we put a pavilion over there, we're gonna put a playground over there, so.
By the railroad tracks? By the railroad tracks?
We're, hoping to, really, try to, work on that, that might be a partnership we try to come up with.
Well, I know that, with the city, it's a non-existent thing with, the city.
Do what?
Jamal and the city, it's a zero relationship.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I don't know neither, I just know that he said that it won't happen.
Yeah, I don't know what the divide is with all of that. So,
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just wanted to see the door where some communication or some kind of thing might happen,
Yeah.
or figure something out.
Yeah,
I'm just putting a bug in your ear.
Yeah, so, I mean,
I just think it's a wonderful effort
all right.
for the kids.
Yeah, that's some stuff that I had to see.
I know.
There's some legalities that we'd have to check.
Yeah,
out.
I know. I got it.
So thank you. Anything? Again?
We have an ice cream social that starts in 4 minutes, so if you wanna come get some ice cream after you're done here, it's free. Come see me over at the office. Free ice cream, either cookies and cream or vanilla in a cone, a cup, or bowl.
Since these guys ain't gonna.
And then whatever toppings, sprinkles, marshmallows, nuts, whatever you want, so come on
All you gotta
over.
do is walk over there and get it.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, just come on over and, that's the only things.
Okay.
I see what it is.
I'd very much like a copy of that nuisance ordinance.
I gotta go to the office to get that.
I'll get it tomorrow or whenever.
We'll get that. Tammy, anything?
Okay, this is the last time the the commissioners will be meeting before the Turtle Fest. And the Turtle Fest is the first weekend in September. So it's really shaping up, and I just don't want to hear anybody go, well, I didn't know it was happening. Okay, and I'm gonna hear it. I'm gonna hear it anyway, but I do want everybody to know the Turtle Fest, Saturday is the festival part, and then Sunday is the wreath laying and the more ceremonial part. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We do have a motion that we adjourn. Motion to have second. Motion second, all in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed,